Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for tuning in to the third episode of Soccer Stratego. I'm your host, Fernando Labarte, and today we're going to be talking about the Seattle Sounders versus the Houston Dynamo, the first and second leg of the series. I missed out last week, so today we're going to put both episodes in one, so here we go. Alright, the overall strategy here for the Seattle Sounders was to play Clint Dempsey as the playmaker, the number 10, condense the opponent's defense as much as possible to one side or the other, and use those explosive through balls, especially with Jovan Jones down the left flank. Now for the Houston Dynamo, it was to saturate the midfield with Martinez, Alexander, and Cabezas. Use possession to their advantage and utilize their fullbacks for crosses and support, especially with Remick and Beasley. Alright, the first highlight comes to you here in minute 10. Actually, this is the first goal. The cross comes in, and the whole objective in a set piece is to actually send the ball into a dangerous area and create an opportunity. Right here, we can see Chad Marshall actually pulling three of the Houston Dynamo defenders, leaving a huge gap for Svensson to actually come in and get the header. This is a different perspective, and you can see Chad Marshall actually pulling a couple defenders, and you can see Svensson actually beating his defender, Alexander, to the ball in a critical area at the penalty point of the box, creating this fantastic opportunity. Alright, the second highlight comes in minute 26. Clint Dempsey playing that number 10, passing in Lodeiro. I'm going to pause it right here because we've seen it so many times that Lodeiro actually opens up to the right-hand side because he's the right midfielder. However, he holds the ball and waits for that explosive run from Jovan Jones, beating his defender, fantastic through ball, and that challenge comes in. If he did not do that challenge, it was going to be an easy pass to Will Bruin and just tap it in. So I completely understand this challenge. However, now you're putting your team in a difficult situation because now you go down to 10 men because of that red card, and guess what? You're at home, 2 goals down potentially after that penalty kick, and now your team has a huge mountain to climb. So now they're 1 goal down, 1 man down, and I'm going to pause it right here. Currently, the Dynamo aren't in a particularly bad situation, but the trickery between Lodeiro and Bruin actually do a fantastic job at crossing each other up, confusing the center back, and the left back actually is confused because now, not only is he in losing position because he's behind the ball, but now he tries to cut in and doesn't quite reach it, and Will Bruin just has an easy job at scoring that header. So this next highlight comes in minute 15. This is the big difference between the Dynamo and Seattle. Right here, I'm going to pause it. You have 3 players to potentially play with. However, they end up using their individualist talent instead of using their team support. Beats a defender, gets a strike on, but it's not quite accurate. The next highlight comes here on the left-hand side. Now, what did I say about using that explosive sideband? Now, this first cross doesn't quite come in, but Beasley comes in for support, tries to cut in, jukes the first cross, the second cross comes in, and that's the dangerous situation. Now, they didn't quite get at the end of the ball, and Seattle cleared it, but you can clearly see their intentions. Now, 50 minutes before the game ends, they do a fantastic job. I'm going to pause it right here. 4 against 4. It's not a particularly bad situation. Great pass down the middle. We're going to see another through ball, and I would have liked to see a cross instead of a shot, but there wasn't a clear pass for Jovan Jones. Now, this last highlight of the match actually comes deep into stoppage time, beats his defender, transitions in front of the box to Victor Rodriguez, who puts it on his right foot, curls it beautifully, hits the post, and Lamar Nagle couldn't quite clean it up. The second leg was actually held in Seattle in the Pacific Northwest with a 2-goal lead. This first highlight of the game is actually the goal. Beautiful pass by Will Bruin to Victor Rodriguez. Clint Dempsey doing a little bit of an impedance, but not too much. Rodriguez easily could have passed the ball, but just chipped it over the shoulder and got the first goal. Here's another perspective of the same shot. Now, I'm going to pause it right here because you can see the run is brilliant. However, this also tells you that the Houston Dynamo was really complacent and did not do a good job at tracking back with their man. Now, the second highlight comes in minute 24 for Houston Dynamo. Great pivot and pass. I would have liked Svensson to be closer to his man. I do understand his positioning, however, that pass could have been prevented. Great opportunity, great speed, gets around, but the angle was just too tight, didn't quite get anything out of it. The second highlight for Houston actually comes from a great diagonal run and give and go. I'm going to pause it right here though, because I want you guys to notice how many green shirts are behind the ball. And the reason this opportunity came about wasn't only because of the swift give and go, but it's because it's the lack of tracking back. And this is the big difference between MLS and some of the other great clubs in Europe. They understand what is happening. Now, this run puts the Sounders in a difficult situation because now they're 2 against 1 on the same defender. He does a great job with that challenge, but leaves the ball in a dangerous situation, and it's easy for any player to just get an easy shot in. The next highlight for Seattle, I'm going to pause it right here because I want you guys to notice this, right? Because as of right now, what did I say earlier? condensing their defenders. And as of right now, their defenders are not even in one half of the field. They're utilizing like a third of the field in this particular area. Now what happens is Joevin Jones is going to capitalize on all this real estate. Not only that, Clint Dempsey is in a fantastic position to sprint forward, and he has support down the right hand side. We're going to move it forward, passes it to Joevin Jones, and guess what? Clint Dempsey is now utilizing that space. All Jones needs to do is provide the service utilizing this huge gap down the middle, which he does, and Dempsey only needs to tap it in. Now this last highlight for Seattle, I'm going to pause it right here because again, these fantastic runs, and Will Bruin did a fantastic job of utilizing this space. Fantastic through ball right behind the defenders, chips it over their shoulder just like the first game, and closes out the match. 5-0 for Seattle in aggregate, and on their way to the MLS Cup Finals against Toronto in Toronto. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the third episode of Soccer Stratego. I had a ton of fun doing it, and if you enjoyed any portion of this content, hit that like button, share it with your friends. At the very least, leave me some feedback in the comment box below. I read every single one. Next episode, I'm super excited about the MLS Cup Finals. Toronto FC versus Seattle Sounders. It's a do or die situation, and you don't want to miss that. Hit that subscribe button. It'll notify you when the next episode comes out. Again, my name is Fernando Labarte. I'll see you guys on the next time.